Hey guys, Jeff here for One Fish, Two Fish. Today we are doing another one of our One Fish, Two Fish Explains videos. And today we are going to do a very simple one. We are going to do picking your first fish tank or upgrading to a bigger fish tank. As a lot of you guys will know, when you get into this hobby, it's usually one or the other. You usually become addicted to it very quickly and you buy one little tank to start and then end up upgrading, or you end up with 2 or 3 tanks, or some of our crazy staff, you end up with 17 tanks. So the first thing you guys want to do when picking your first fish tank, and we get this all the time, when people will come in and say, I want a fish tank, or I'm looking to upgrade our fish tank, the first question we always ask, and it is the easiest question for you guys to actually help you when picking a tank, is what do you want to do with the tank? If today you could snap your fingers and it could just be done, fish tank is done, everything is in it, it's decorated, what does it look like? What fish do you want in it? This applies very much for saltwater. It does for freshwater as well, but saltwater is a big one. A lot of people will have in mind certain fish that they want. As I'm talking here, we'll go back and we'll look at a couple fish. We do not, I'll forewarn you, we do not have a ton of saltwater fish in right now. They've just been coming in and going out as quick as they have been. They come in, they go through quarantine. Basically, when they're done, they're sold within a couple days. And orders have been much less than we're used to. We're getting saltwater fish in every 2 to 3 weeks instead of much less than that, usually 1 to 2 weeks. So we are going to change up some stuff. We'll actually discuss that in another video. We are going to change out one of our saltwater systems just because the availability has been a lot less than we're used to, like I said. And anyway, we'll go through that in another video. But we get people all the time looking back for their first saltwater tank saying, oh, that fish is beautiful, or that fish is beautiful. I'm going to show you guys a couple of stuff that pops up, a couple of different fish and that sort of thing. So his size or not, he just keeps going until you guys will all know, just very simple chromis. Can go in not any kind of tank, but almost any kind of tank, small, medium, large.
You guys aren't quarantined. I know they were quarantined last time. They're all good. Yeah, everything's being cleared for I have another issue.
Very nice fish.
3 different corals,
but very common fish. It is a fish that a lot of people will say, I like the school. Pink-tailed trigger.
I moved that one point to a different spot. They never came back.
Now this is a good display because this is actually a good sized fish. I was actually trying to find a much smaller one of those PJ Cardinals. Just trying to show you guys a couple of different sizes sort of with the fish. So the big thing with doing this is when you know what you want in the tank, when you know what you want the tank to look like when you're done, it is going to make setting up your tank so much more easy. It's going to make you only have to buy something once. If you have a dream fish, a lot of people will have something very specific to mind. I want to keep a yellow tang. I want to keep a blue hippo tang. Whatever the case may be. We always try to gauge what kind of fish people are looking for, because it will very much impact what you can get for a fish tank, or what you should get for a fish tank. Most tanks will not do well in what most people will start out for a saltwater tank. If you're looking for an upgrade to, say, a 40-gallon tank, you've probably been told many times you can't have, I want this fish, no you can't have it, I want this fish, no you can't have it. And so on and so on. And that happens quite often. And unfortunately, we have to say it quite often. People will say, I want, I have a 40-gallon tank and I want a yellow tank, for example. And we have to say, it's unfortunate. We would like to sell you this yellow tank, but you just don't have a big enough tank for it. And at some point, it is going to cause you more issues than enjoyment. This fish will get too big for it. Once a fish outgrows it, a number of things can happen. They can become territorial, their health can decline, any number of things, none of which are going to be good for you. So we always try to when you're buying something, we always try to get you into something that we know is going to be good for your tank, at least for the foreseeable future. Now, a lot of the times people will say, I know what I'm buying. I know I can't house this fish, but I'm going to upgrade. And we're fine with that. If you are buying a yellow tank for a 40-gallon tank, and you say, well, it's only, I know I'm getting 150 gallons in 3 months or something like that, it's no problem. A lot of fish, a lot of tanks, I mean, obviously they usually start small. Most of them don't grow overnight. So you can get away with stuff like that, and if that is the plan. But what I would tell you is always remember, before you upgrade any tank, make a list of what you want in that tank when you're done. Again, with saltwater, stuff is always going to pop up, and lucky for you guys, for us, for everybody that enjoys this stuff, there are a ton of saltwater fish, every shape and size, every color. You can basically find something to put in any tank. But I would always tell you, do a little bit of research, try to figure out what it is you like, what it is you're going for, what the look is, and then you can save yourself from buying something that actually doesn't. A couple of the tank kits that we sell, this is a very popular tank kit. The LED BioCube, the Coral Life BioCube, another one that is very popular. The Fluval Flex, a very popular tank. Fluval Evo tanks, very popular tanks. Those are very good beginner tanks, and the reason for them is all of these are basically plug and play. They just need water. They've got the tank, they've got the light. You can add filters to both of them. Actually, the companies make their very own filters as well. But when you get something like this, and this is actually, I do like this tank, but I am going to kind of yell at it. You should not have a picture of a blue hippo tang in a 32-gallon tank. Now, why do they put that fish there? They put that fish there because everybody knows it. But I don't know why you wouldn't put, say, a clownfish, a Nemo fish, because most of the rest of it is true. You can keep scolies in this tank. Most of the coral that's in it is all sort of doable stuff. Actually, there's a clownfish right there. I didn't even see him. But the picture of the blue hippo tang is actually a worse marketing tool than better, because anybody that, and actually they have, whoever made this didn't actually put a lot of thought into it. 3 clownfish, I didn't see any. Yeah, I'm kind of getting off track here, yelling at the pictures on the thing. But when you get that tank, if you are a beginner, if you are new to keeping saltwater fish, and you're looking at this and you see that hippo tang and say, "Oh, that's the fish I want," if you don't say that out loud, if you go home with this, you're very unlikely going to get that fish. You're going to have to buy the fish. Most decent saltwater fish stores, unless you can justify that you are going to upgrade that tank within a year, that fish is one that actually grows fairly decent. So even if you are to find, and you can find hippo tanks, very small, like quarter size. A lot of the captive bred ones, that's how they're being sold now, is very tiny. So you can buy the fish at that size, but that fish is going to outgrow that tank very quick. And it's just not going to enjoy its life. It's going to either get cranky, or it's going to get sick. It's going to be very scared of everything and hide, or the opposite, it's going to get very territorial and attack everything, which is no fun for you in any way, shape, or form. So I would always tell you guys, when upgrading, always, the biggest part of upgrading, before you figure out anything, before you figure out budget, before you figure out what you want to go to, always figure out what you are wanting at the end of the day. Whenever it's done, if you could snap your fingers, if you could make it just done and done, find out what that is. Make sure when you go to buy your tank, you let them know, this is what I'm looking for. I'm hoping to have a this, a this, a this. They might be able to save you a second purchase, or they might be able to guide you a little bit on you're spending this much money, but if you went this route, you can maybe save some money, or maybe you could get a little bit bigger of a tank that is a different footprint. There's lots of different tricks we can do with it. So that would be what I would tell you guys. Always, when upgrading your tank, make sure find out what you want in it. Make sure to tell whoever you're buying it from, obviously if you're buying it from a store, let them know this is what I want. Do you think it will be a sufficient tank for it? Will they be able to live their whole life in it? And when you're buying fish, always have a plan for it. Make sure that what you're buying can live its life in what you have. If it's happy in your tank, you get to enjoy it so much more. A lot less disease, a lot less fighting, a lot less sort of everything negative, and a lot more just of enjoyment. So there you go, guys. I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and we'll see you in the next one.